If you'd like to read along, visit shahnamehquest.substack.com for transcripts, illustrations, and bonus content. We last left off at the marriage of Feridun's 3 sons, and coming up you'll learn more about these 3 sons, including their names. But before we get into the next story, it is essential to provide some context on the other nation in the Shahnameh, and that is the kingdom of Turan. Now, at the moment, Turan does not exist. It is about to be created, and its creation catalyzes the rivalry that defines the Shahnameh between Iran and Turan. Now, some notes on the demographics and geography of Turan. It has its own kings and courts and culture, and it is made up of an amalgamation of the steppe empires and nomadic peoples that had existed in Eurasia over the prior couple of thousand years, from around 1000 BC. Those include the Cimmerians, the Scythians, the Turks, the Huns, and the Parthians. The Shahnameh effectively consolidates all of these peoples as Turanians. Geographically, Turan is situated northeast of Iran, and even on a map today you can trace where it would be. It would cover regions like the Caucasus and the nations of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, and even stretch as far out as Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. So if Turan was a real nation today, that's where it would be. Now, here's a fun fact for any listeners familiar with opera. There is a Puccini opera called Turandot, and although it takes place in China, the name Turandot derives from the Persian Turandot, which means daughter of Turan. So you can see the Shahnameh's influence even on Italian operas of the 1920s. Understanding the nation of Turan is essential for the continuation of the Shahnameh because it thematically represents the other nation. This rivalry is the catalyst for border disputes, wars, and prejudices against one another. In simpler literary terms, you can think of Iran and Turan like the prologue in Romeo and Juliet, which sets up the 2 households both alike in dignity, the Montagues and the Capulets. And in fact, that might be a helpful comparison once we get into the love stories of the Shahnameh, which are frequently between an Iranian and a Turanian who are forbidden from being together. The reason why I'm bringing this up now is because it's in our next story that Turan will be formed. As you recall from the last episode, we met Feridun's 3 sons. Their names are Salm, Tur, and Iraj. It's among these 3 brothers that Feridun will divide the world. Salm is given the land west of Iran, Iraj is given Iran itself, and Tur is given the land northeast of Iran. So that's why it's called Turan. But that split is not just a geographical plot point. It actually creates a fault line that divides the entire world and triggers a war between the brothers that spells horror and tragedy for King Feridun. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it or leave a review. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Shahnameh Quest.